Hey, what's up,
Morning.
guys? Good morning, buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas evenings.
It's morning for us. It's 7:53.
So that's the coffee from Starbucks, not a sponsor.
But I mean,
He already killed his because he needs more energy than I do.
I have a little bit.
So, yeah, guys. So thanks for tuning in with us once again. It is awesome to have you guys here with us, checking us out on the video, of course. Today, we really want to kind of just talk about a few things that we just kind of have discussed, and 2020 that just passed, crazy year. We can all agree to that.
Definitely different.
20
Something that we weren't
unexpected
planning
for sure.
and unexpected. But I mean, is life really? Is it? Can you really expect anything from life? That's the
Yeah, no.
takeaway?
But 2021, it's a new year. It's a new you. It's a new us. Channel's new, obviously. Everything's new this year. Especially with everything going on, we're just so focused on everything that's happening outside, everything that's happening here, there, and um, I think it could be easy for us to lose sight of our own personal growth, our own personal just kind of development on a personal level, on a character level, but also just in being more of the person that God is calling us to be.
Yeah, because it can definitely, or it definitely also ties into your spiritual life too.
Well,
So like your
yeah,
um So, like for example, your character, your lifestyle, it needs to be reflecting also, your spiritual life too.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So I mean, personal, who you are, it's all linked to just your soul, your personality, who you are, but definitely your spirit plays a huge role in your priorities and the things that yeah, you prioritize in your life on a daily basis. So today we just want to talk about a few things that we believe should be some habits that you need to start, and by you I mean us as well, but you, just you as a plural, all of us, should really begin to do in 2021. So we want to encourage you guys, stay tuned, and let's go at it.
so the first one that I have been personally, investing and starting with in my own life too is investing in my own personal growth. So that's
Mm.
one thing that everybody should be doing, especially in the new year. Educate yourself. So one of the things that I told my wife, starting the new
You're
year.
married?
Yes, I am right there.
Sorry,
Uh,
ladies.
is so is one thing is growing as a person, growing as the person that God wants me to be
Man.
and that I was called to. So growing spiritually, mentally, and one thing that I actually started in 2020 is reading self-help books.
Oh, okay.
So I've started. I did a little bit of that, and then I kind of just started looking into other things. But I want to do more of that this year. Um, Also, another way to grow personally and spiritually is finding a mentor. So finding somebody that
Mm.
you can confide in, that you can speak to, and that will motivate you to get to your goals and also be like an accountability
I
partner.
honestly feel like mentors are so underrated.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
like nobody wants help. Everyone wants to think they could do it themselves. Nobody
Hmm.
needs encouragement. Nobody
Yeah,
needs somebody to hold them everyone hates accountability,
yeah,
but mentors are so important in your life because they're there to help you, you be you, and you accomplish your goals, and you accomplish and develop to be,
yeah. It just helps
you
you
know.
be a better person because for a better part of my life, I've always been kind of just by myself in my own mental state.
Mm.
So finding a mentor and having somebody that I can reach out to and any questions that I have,
Mm.
it's definitely gonna help my personal growth and it'll help your personal growth as well. Also, being productive. Uh, you know, one of the things that we're gonna go into is like being on your phone.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I've been on a lot. So, and again in 2020, I got in a mode where I don't use it as much now as I used to, but slowly it kind of creeps back up.
This is true because he hardly responds right away to my text
Yeah,
messages. Like,
it takes
hardly.
it takes 2 to 3 business days for me to respond.
For which isn't a bad thing. It's not what you expect these days because you see everybody on their phone, so you
Yeah,
expect them to respond like that. Like I have that where it's like there's this kind of like as soon as you hear your phone go off, you kind of feel this urge, and I know it's kind of tied into just like our brains and stuff, where it's like you almost need to go respond to it in order for you to feel like at ease. If you don't respond to it, you feel like on the edge. And I think that this last year, you were able to overcome kind of that. And just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna airplane mode my phone for a while, or after this hour, and then if I get to it, I get to it. If it's an emergency, they're gonna call. They'll get a hold of me. If not, it can wait.
I feel more comfortable like just having my phone in my pocket, and if I feel a notification, like I'll get to it later, or just having my phone on the table and not look at it, or even if I have to flip it down just so that I don't see like the screen.
And this is why he is still married. So, next point here that we wanted to make, another good habit to have this year, if you haven't yet done so, is start making a schedule. Start making a schedule for your day, for your. You could start off just by maybe like a weekly schedule, like on Monday I want to accomplish this, but slowly work into having a schedule during the day, because we all know that there's days when we sleep in. There's days where we're at the end of the night trying to get things done, and by the time we go to sleep, it's 11, 12, 1 in the morning. We wake up the next day having to go to work or having to do this or that, and we're just like zombified, or and we're not as productive. And again, like the point right before, where we want to be the best person we can be, you can't perform, or you can't be the best person if physically and mentally you're drained, because your day before you were just not responsible with your schedule, with yourself.
The next point I have is too much screen time. Like we mentioned, that first one is it just takes too much of your time chasing that dopamine hit. Like when you get a notification that urges you to like right away check it. How many likes do I have? How many people reacted to my post or whatever? So like kind of getting rid of that, it kind of alleviates you from having to check your phone so much. Like one of the things I did too is on all my social media, I just deleted all my like notifications, so I don't get it, and then it just keeps me away from my phone a little bit longer.
That's smart.
And even your phone, like the iPhone has a setting called screen time, where you can schedule how many hours you want to be limit certain like apps. Like for example, on my end, like social media, I only have it for 30 minutes or like an hour. That way, after that, well, too bad. Now I'm not gonna access my social media. One of the quotes that I wrote here is from David Goggins. I'm not sure if it was from a book or a podcast that I heard, but it says, "We waste so much time on our gadgets and talk about not having enough time. Write down everything you do in a day, and you'll be surprised how much time you are wasting. If that doesn't infuriate you, it should." Now I paraphrase that because he cusses like a sailor, so I just had to paraphrase it a little bit. But it like if you were to write down or journal every single thing you do in a day, like if you just put that screen time, how much you spend on your phone, it's surprising. It's deep.
We should try that.
Yeah.
By me and myself too. Another thing that we wanted to encourage you to do this year, get in the habit of being willing to try something new. Something like jotting down your times during your schedule during the day. Be willing to try something new. You can't be doing the same thing and expect different results. And so if the only way you're going to be able to get different results, the only way you're going to be able to grow, the only way you're going to be able to learn something is by trying something new. The more capable you are of doing things, the more you have to offer in ministry and in your calling and in your development, in your business, whatever it is that you want to apply that to, you become more capable to do that.
Well, a major example for us is starting a YouTube channel because it's way out of our comfort zones. Next one I have is stop overspending. So this one, again, in 2020,
Guilty.
I learned a little bit more about my finances and what I've been spending on that I don't need. So a lot of times society tells us and kind of judges us by what we have and what we don't have. So we tend to kind of try to spend to be able to kind of make it flashy or like
keep up with everyone else.
Or keep up with everybody else. Like my phone, I used to upgrade every year. As soon as it would come out, I'd upgrade my phone. Now I'm like, do I really need that phone? Or am I going to just keep using it for the same thing that I use it now? Yeah. So having it for 2, 3, 4 years, as long as it lasts, like it's a challenge because then it gets tempting. But overcoming that temptation of getting something new that you don't need, it's a challenge, but it definitely helps your finances. So one thing that I've been doing is if I want to spend on something, what I do instead is I transfer that amount of that cost into my savings account. Or like when lockdown happened, um, just like everybody else, they started trying to learn how to cut their hair. So that's what I've been doing too.
Yeah.
Like I'm not good at it, but I don't pay 20, 30, even though the prices are going up now. I don't pay it, but instead what I do is I pay myself for that. So what I do is I cut my hair, and what I would pay before in a haircut, I just transfer that to my savings
Mm.
account. And that's just money, extra money in my pocket.
That also applies to trying something new.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you try new things and it benefits you in more places than one. You know, it could benefit you even
Yeah.
financially.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
definitely.
just be willing to do it. I'm pretty sure even the first time you were cutting your hair, you're just like,
I
oh,
was scared. Yeah, I was terrified. I was
So,
like, this is because I used to worry a lot about what people thought of me, but I'm like, we're not going out anyway, so who cares?
true.
One thing that I've gotten in the habit of is listening to audiobooks or reading.
Hmm.
One of those is like at least reading a finance book like once a year or twice a year.
Hmm.
A good book is I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. I'll try to put like a link or like the picture of the book. Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Is that
Oh,
his
yeah,
name?
yeah.
So that's a good one. The one I like about the first one is it teaches you how to like optimize your savings account or your credit cards, starting retirement funds, 401ks, all that. So it gets into debt. I want to get into more of the Total Money Makeover, but I know you're in the Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
And it's helped you a lot. So
Yeah.
just educate yourself, really.
Lastly, this is something that I just until this episode, I realized there was an actual name for it. I've never in my life heard of FOMO.
Yeah.
It just, this guy is like, oh yeah, I've heard of FOMO. And I'm like, I've never heard of FOMO. And this guy was telling me that he heard it even mentioned at Dalte conference
Yeah, the
last
Delta
year.
conference.
And shout out Dalte. But yeah, so it
Yeah.
just really stands for fear of missing out. Like we sometimes have a fear of missing, and I think that this is linked to a lot of several things that we talked about already. You know, even like the fact that a new iPhone comes out or something comes up, and it's like you feel like you're missing out if you don't make that purchase, if you don't upgrade, if you don't participate in something, if you feel like you're missing out. And the truth is, you're not.
Yeah.
Overcome that and know that our life does not revolve around specific events, specific purchases, specific things,
Or people.
or people. Exactly. Okay, you have your goals, you have your calling, you have what God has called you to do. So focus on that. Well, hopefully this was encouraging to you. Hopefully you guys can use some of these habits and begin to implement them into your life. And so
Yeah. And if you have any habits that you want to share, feel free to leave them in the comments. Tell us what you want to hear from us. If you like the content, subscribe, like the channel, hit that bell and the notifications, and we'll see you next time.
love you guys. Blessings.